Just me and the patch. You guys aren't even here. Bro, but look how much work I've been putting into this shit, though. I'm actually so proud of it. Look, I put in a note. Insert a split screen of Solar and Lunar Leona skins with a quote in the middle. Holy shit, I'm putting in, like, director's notes and shit. I'm going hardcore on this, bitch. Alright, chat, it's time to do a nice review of patch 11.6 notes. This is a pretty good patch here for Ivern. I know there's some redemption changes. I know they've also made some support changes in general, and they've nerfed a couple of champions that give Ivern some trouble. So these bug fixes don't really apply to Ivern that much. If it doesn't apply to Ivern, I'm not really going to look at it. The other cool thing about this patch is all the Coven skins come out. So I'm actually working on a Coven video about all of the deep dive into the lore. It's going to be really long and in-depth, and I hope you guys check that out. It'll probably be out by the end of the weekend. So if you see here, we got a nerf to Darkseal. It's kind of a change to Darkseal, and we got a buff to Redemption. So that's really, really cool. So let's just jump into it. Diana looks like damage to epic monsters 300 to 250%. So that's just going to slow her clear. That's really good for Ivern. Ivern doesn't like playing against power farming champions. Kane nerf when? Oh, I hope immediately, but I don't think it's in this patch. I don't think it's in this patch, chat. Sorry to disappoint you. Biora E cooldown doesn't really matter. Okay, Jarvan. Jarvan can be a bit of a problem if he's too strong, so let's see what they changed here. Passive damage increase, R bonus damage ratio increase. Okay, so if they make like an assassin Jarvan, that'll be really tough for Ivern to deal with, because early on he's such a pain in the ass. Passive, 8% of target's current health to 10% of target's current health. Doesn't really matter for Ivern. Ivern doesn't stack health, that's fine. R Cataclysm bonus damage ratio up 30% from 150 to 180. How do I feel about that? I think when Jarvan ults you, it's not usually the ult that you're worried about killing you. Like when Jarvan goes in and does a full combo, he's not trying to burst you, he's trying to lock you down. So him having a little bit of extra damage might suck for the 1v1, but the Cataclysm is a nightmare to deal with either way. So not a huge change. We'll have to see how it feels in the game. It might feel really strong. Jhin extra damage. I think any extra damage to Jin's just going to make him one of the best champs in the game. I think he's already really, really good. Okay, so let's talk about Karma here real quick. What did they end up doing to her? They made a lot of changes. Are they trying to make her stronger or weaker? Passive on hit cooldown reduction removed. Cooldown reduction from abilities is now flat. Q base damage decrease early. Cooldown increased early. So they're trying to make her more of like a spam bot. Karma has been much stronger in coordinated pro play than solo Q. We're making rather bigger ones to help her succeed. So they're trying to make her easier, I guess. Let's see what they did. Okay, no longer reduces mantra cooldown by 1 second whenever she uses basic attacks against an enemy champion. Well, in this meta, when Karma's in range to auto attack enemy champions, she's probably dead, so that doesn't really matter that much. Cooldown reduction from abilities is a flat 5 seconds. Now that matters. That's really good early on. That's really good early on. Base damage is lowered, but by rank 3 you're only down 10, I guess. This is a big hit to the laning phase. So historically Karma's been really good at engaging, disengaging, and laning phase. This is a big hit, but the Q2, which doesn't usually hit that much, is actually quite a sizable buff, so you don't want to get caught on that Q2 there. A flat 40 bonus movement speed, that's not good. This looks like overall, to me, it looks like a nerf to Karma. Why are they doing this? I mean, it's a buff to the basic abilities, but it's a nerf to the skill expression abilities. Like the bonus movement speed and the actual playmaking abilities. Looks like a nerf. I don't know how I feel about this. I think you might not see Karma in pro play for a while. Okay, Lee Sin. W Omnivamp decreased. Oh, nice. They're taking out some of his early to mid-game dueling power. This is perfect for against Ivern. Lowering this by 5% across every single rank is really, really nice. So those auto attack fights that you get in, he's going to be healing just a little bit less. That's really, really good. All right, Lulu, W cooldown increased, R cooldown increased early. R wild growth, I mean, giving this 10 extra seconds, does that really matter? Does that really matter? You can't just wait, like you have to think about it in terms of, is Lulu's ultimate an ult that you just spam on cooldown? No, not really, right? Lulu's ultimate is one where you're really trying to make a play with it. It's very coordinated, it's very deliberate when you want to use it, right? So you're just going to plan your team fights around that Lulu ult anyway. This is not a big enough nerf to her at all. This is not a big enough nerf to her at all. She's still so good. Maokai, I don't even want to talk about Maokai. This guy is freaking useless in the game right now. Passive heal increase, E detonation damage decrease. Why would you even bother adjusting his damage anywhere ever? Nobody gives a shit about sapling toss damage. This champ is dead. What, Riot? Fix him. All right, Nunu. Base movement speed increased by 5. Okay, not a huge deal. And more AP damage on Nunu. Oh, bro, are we going to see more Nunu mids with this? You might see more Nunu mids with this. That kind of sucks against Ivern. Okay, Shaco. This is important for Ivern. Ivern has trouble against Shaco. Q orange smoke VFX removed are bug fixes. Bro, when are you going to give Daisy some bug fixes? You know what I mean? Okay, so Shaco's orange smoke no longer appears from the enemy's point of view when cast through Fog of War. I mean, that's how it always should be. Okay, hallucinate. Ward, clone, pathing, bug fix. When Shaco's clone kills a ward, it no longer overrides all commands and attempts to repeatedly pack back to Shaco. When Shaco's clone does... Okay, yeah, but Daisy's been broken since release, though. Why does Shaco get all of these quality of life buffs when... Fucking anytime Senna shrouds, Daisy just stops existing. Anytime Shaco box stuns or CCs like Daisy, she actually can't move. Like, Daisy is the kind of ultimate where not only will she stop doing her current command, but you can't input a new command. It's like it just ceases to exist. It's like daisy.exe, it's a fucking virus. Like, this is cool for Shaco and all, and I'm really glad that Riot is able to even do this kind of thing. But oh my god, Ivern is literally nothing without Daisy. Daisy is basically the champion, and we can't even get Daisy to walk into Fog of War or Shroud or any of that shit. Riot, please, if you hear this, please fix Daisy AI. She is wandering around the rift aimlessly half the time, and it's impossible to control. I just don't have the APM to input so many commands to override your spaghetti code. Please, Riot. Thank you. Okay, anyways. Sivir, yeah, you don't fucking matter. W damage? Who even uses this ability? You literally play Lethality Sivir now. All you do is Q. You don't even auto half the time. Anyways, okay, Sona. I use it 5 head? Okay, well. You're 0 head right now. Okay, so they did a lot of reworking to Sona, which I think they made her kind of like a mini Zillion, which is really cool because I think Sona and Zillion go kind of hand in hand. They're very similar characters. I'm not going to read through all of this. Probably doesn't really pertain to Ivern. The cool things are she gains like non-ultimate ability, like she gains a lot of haste, right? So it's basically like Zillion keeps spamming those abilities, and the ultimate stuns champions, minions, and monsters, which is kind of cool. So, and they lowered her mana of her speed boost, which is cool. They lowered her mana across the board, which is really, really nice actually. Like even her Q, she won't run out of mana immediately, which is really, really, really good. Let's just read the passive. Sona's basic abilities grant her permanent Accelerando stacks. She gains plus 0.59 ultimate ability haste per stack, up to 60 non-ultimate ability haste. So her passive can give her 60 ability haste on just her, like on her non-ultimate abilities, just her passive. That's nuts. That's stupid. That's crazy. Once she reaches 60 non-ultimate ability haste, instead of gaining an additional stack, her ultimate ability cooldown is reduced by 1.5 seconds each time she would gain an additional stack. So it ends up becoming super short ultimate, super spammable spells, and her mana costs are decreased to reflect that. Hell, she might even be the better Seraphine now. Who knows? Who knows? These nerfs are garbage. They don't do anything to Tahm Kench. He's still broken as fuck in the top lane. Doesn't matter. Okay, Xin Zhao, base damage decreased by 3 at level 1. Any nerfs to Xin Zhao are welcome. He's a pain with Ivern. Ziggs, base stats. Increasing his mana, that's good. Decreasing his damage on his E. I think Ziggs is a bit of a terror right now, so this is really welcome change. I like that they're not going too hard on it, right? I like that they're not going too hard on the Ziggs nerfs, right? Because some people might see what he's doing in pro play, see what he's doing in the bot lane, and they just might over nerf him, slam the bam hammer on him, we'll never see him again. This is like a calculated small nerf just to see where he ends up. And I really like that the champion's not just going to be forgotten like Ivern would be. Okay, so now the part that we've all been waiting for, the main parts about that really affect Ivern. So let's talk about Darkseal, okay? Because everybody's been asking me, yo, Mossy, is Darkseal dead? Is this even worth buying anymore? Yes, it is, and let me tell you why. While Darkseal's meant to be high risk, high reward item, it becomes a consistently high value option for most AP users. It is permanently a high value option for Ivern because Ivern is not the same as most AP users. Even for champions that appreciate mana on Doran's Ring, doesn't apply to Ivern. Okay, so Dread AP per glory stack 5 to 4. Glory stacks loss on death 4 to 5. Okay. So the reason Ivern gets Darkseal early on is because he does need that AP, but it's very easy for Ivern to stack with his shield spam, with his early ganks, and with his team fight prowess, okay? This item is still only 350 gold. Now, if you have 10 stacks instead of 50 AP, you're getting, like, right? You're getting 40 AP. 40 AP for 350 gold. Ivern sits on 10 stacks all the time. It's really hard for Ivern to die. So for 350 gold, this item is still really crazy efficient on Ivern. Ivern is not a champ that dies very often. Ivern is very low econ, so he needs a cheap legendary item like Medjai's to really synergize with his mythic items. And so Darkseal is still a must buy on Ivern. I don't care what you say. It's really, really good. Don't even worry about it. Okay, Redemption. Redemption's being overshadowed by other enchanter items and has struggled to find its niche this season. We're increasing the power and availability of its exciting moments so it can be more effective in more team fights. Poggers. Intervention Heal. 180 to 360 based on ally level, 200 to 400 based on ally level. Intervention cooldown. So they lowered the cooldown by 30 seconds. 30 seconds? That's crazy. 30 seconds is massive. So what I think with this item is now the most meta thing that you can do here is, I think rushing Redemption first is now a viable strategy. No Burnfold, you can't. Okay, rushing Redemption first is a viable strategy, especially if you're going to be going Moonstone Renewer anyway. Obviously, you're not going to slam this down in an AP build, right? But every 90 seconds, your camps take about 40 seconds to fully pop, and then they will respawn again in a minute, right? So that's 140 seconds. which is about 2 minutes, you'll be able to get 2 charges of redemption off in one kind of camp clear. And so that's going to help you perma gank and be aggressive with support Ivern. Nowadays, the game is really high tempo, and by them lowering this cooldown by 30 seconds, it helps Ivern accomplish that. Not to mention the fact that Ivern sits around 800 health, 800, like between like 800 and 1000 for a really long time in the game. And so having an extra 200 health benefits you on your ganks, because now you're healing yourself as well as your ally. It procs your summon Airy. It might even proc your Grievous Wounds if you do have the item. All of that really cool stuff, right? The other thing is when you have Moonstone Renewer and you rush that very first item, one, you're not going to have any of the passive ability stacks. So if you rush Redemption first, you're already going to have a legendary item in your pocket that gives you all the stats you need early, gives you shielding, and it gives you health and survivability. So that's poggers. It also gives you early mana, which is a little bit poggers as well. I think it gives you early mana, if I'm remembering the build path properly. Okay, but the second thing is Moonstone Renewer doesn't proc on yourself. So if I'm ganking with a Moonstone Renewer, and that's the only item I have, Boots and Moonstone Renewer, when I go to gank top lane and I shield my ally, the Moonstone Renewer is going to give me a little bit of bonus shielding on myself, but it's not going to heal myself. This 200 flat healing is way more than Moonstone Renewer is ever going to do early game on any type of gank ever. So that's why this actually might look supportive, but it leads to a much more aggressive play style. It's the same reason that some Iverns like running Guardian, because it procs on yourself. This procs on yourself. Moonstone Renewer does not. So that's why I think this is a really sick item, and I'm going to be trying it today, redemption first, all night long. Let's do it. And the rest of this stuff doesn't really matter. Oh, the really cool thing is the chromas. The chromas are so nice. All the skins in here, the Coven is so amazing. This is my favorite storyline. It's like super Lord of the Ringsy, and I absolutely love that. Like, look how good Warwick and Evelyn look, Malphite. I love that it's a separate universe from Runeterra, and how just it looks so amazing, guys. Go get the Coven skins. I wish they wouldn't have given LeBlanc the Prestige Edition, but obviously she sells the most out of any of these people. Also, look at Ahri. Ahri has a little, look at this thing. That looks like a dog head to me, doesn't it? I bet you Warwick is the man. I bet you Warwick is her old god. It looks exactly like this dog head. I bet you that's it. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up our 11.16 kind of patch breakdown. These skins are all looking bad. They're looking so good. Look at, wow, Camille's thick. What the fuck? Riot, this is not how people look. Normal people don't look like this. So definitely helping with the gender roles. Anyways, yeah, Pogs, super fun.